Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing some more macro photography out in the woods, and I think I'm going to start by photographing some bugs using the flash and diffuser setup. And I'm going to try and find a different part of the woods because I usually go to the same part and just photograph the same things. So I'm going to try and find a different part of the woods and hopefully find some different sort of subjects. I think I found an area which might be really good to look in. We've got a kind of bed of twigs over here and there's a lot of mossy stuff underneath it as well. And then the whole floor around here just seems to be covered in moss, which is quite promising. And then we've got a very mossy log there and quite a few smaller ones around it. And then we've got this big tree here, which might have stuff underneath it or around it. And then I think there's some like tree stumps over here. So yeah, quite a lot of stuff to have a look at. So let's see what we can find. I'm going to start off by rolling over this log because this is the first thing I saw when I came to this area. I just thought it was really mossy and it hasn't been turned over probably ever. So it must have something underneath it. Let's have a look. Actually, before we have a look, I'll get my camera settings ready. And I think they should be ready because I haven't changed them since I last came out. My camera settings are 1/100, f9, ISO 200. That's generally a good base for photographing bugs. And then my flash I'll just change according to how bright or dark the image is. Right, so let's flip over the log. There's a little centipede in here and it's staying still, so we'll get a photo of that. I think this could be a single shot, but I think I'll focus bracket anyway. Use the focus clutch just to find the subject. It is quite hard shooting handheld like this because I'm not leaning on anything, so I can't really keep my camera proper still. That should be good. Quite a simple shot there. I really like the details on those bugs. Just all the legs look crazy. I haven't really found much else in here. There is a harvestman down there, but its legs are all kind of pointing inwards and you can't see its face, so it'll be quite a messy shot. There's loads of wood lice down here, so I think I'm just going to photograph one of these and then I'll roll the log back over after that. This one's staying nice and still and I can see its face, so let's get a shot of this. I was shooting all the way at 2x magnification there and I couldn't really get the composition I wanted because the woodlouse was pointing downwards. I've got loads of pictures of woodlice, so I'm not really too fussed about that. So we'll roll the log back over now and let all those bugs chill. That is quite rooted to the floor. Sometimes you find stuff actually like underneath the log and not on the log, so you've got to check both. There is a nice little mushroom there, but I think I'll look for bugs first. If I can't find any bugs, I'll photograph the mushroom. Okay, this is pretty crazy. I just found a bumblebee and in a hole. It's very hard to see on camera, but in that hole there, you can see the wings of the bumblebee. And I'm guessing it's hibernating because it's winter right now. You don't really see bumblebees about. And I always thought, like, where do they go? I'm guessing this is where they go and they just chill underground. Can't really find any bugs on the log, so I think I'm just going to photograph this little mushroom here because I don't think I've actually photographed one of these before. It's quite an interesting shape, so yeah, let's get a shot. So to photograph the mushroom, I've took my flash and diffuser off because I much prefer using natural light and then maybe adding in some LED lights if I feel like it will add to the scene. I've got my composition set up and I think I'm just going to underexpose my image by about a stop or two and then add in one of these pod minis by Adaptalux. This mushroom's really small, and the good thing about these lights is that they're very small on the end and you can unscrew this to make the light even narrower. So it's great for photographing tiny things like this mushroom. I probably should have brought a mini tripod to put it onto, but I kind of forgot. So I might have to hold it if I can't balance it here. I'm gonna bring in a second light here because the first one is just lighting the sort of back edge of the mushroom. And I want this one to sort of fill in the shadows at the front of the mushroom. Lighting looks good now, so I think I'll press the shutter to start my focus bracket. That looks like enough images. Hit the shutter again. There we are. It was a bit awkward to set up the lights, but I think it sort of added to the shot a bit there. I'll roll this log back over and let that bumblebee go back to hibernation. I'm now going to roll over this log, and there's some loose bark on it, so if there's nothing underneath that log, then I could probably have a look under that loose bark and see what's under there. But let's have a look. Well, there is a wasp. It's on this bit of bark here, so if I just carefully pick it up, I could position it and get a photo. It started moving a little bit. Still pretty still though. Trying to use the green moss as a background here. Managed to get a pretty decent photo there. It started moving around now, so I think I'll leave it. It has stayed still again, so I think I'm going to try and get another shot and go for a different composition. shot down one at 1/30 shutter speed because I wanted to get a bit of colour in the background. And by lowering your shutter speed, you bring more natural light into your image, which means I get more of the natural colour in the background. I've rolled over some bark and there doesn't seem to be much else on here other than the light wood lice. So I'm going to put the wasp back where it was and then roll the log over. I just rolled over this small log here and there's a tiny black harvestman. And I don't think I've actually got a photo of a black harvestman. Well, I technically have, but I haven't got a good one in my standards. This is a very small harvestman, so I'm going to shoot this all the way at 2x magnification on my Zuiko 90mm. I'm just going to lie down for stability as well. Makes it a lot easier to get the photo. I'm going to focus just before one of the front legs and then press the shutter to start my focus bracket. And there we are. I just wanted to focus bracket the body because the legs were kind of coming out of frame, so I didn't want to focus bracket those really. There's nothing else on this log really, so I'll roll it back over and leave the harvestman alone. I just rolled over a log and found this neat bunch of red slime molds underneath it. So I'm just going to place this down somewhere where it's easy to photograph and then get a nice photo of it. It's very convenient how it's on this bit of bark because I could just peel it off and then bring it somewhere easy to photograph. I'm just going to take a bit of the bark off at the front because my camera was touching it when I get close to the slime molds. I'm really happy with that shot. I think the moss in the background made it really nice as well. And when I was composing it, I made sure that each slime mold was spaced apart nicely. I just flipped over this massive log and I noticed some mushrooms down here. So we'll see which one is good for a photo. So I'm going to photograph this absolutely tiny one here. And I think I can probably play around with some lights. So we'll see what we can come up with. There's some really nice moss leading in from the right. And there's a little bit on the left. So I think I'm going to have more negative space on the right of the frame. And then a little bit on the left. I think that'll make a nice composition. I'm going to underexpose my shot by about 1.5 stops, and then I'm going to bring in 2 of these pod minis by Adapter Lux. I've got one of the pod minis behind the mushroom and that's giving it a nice edge light, making it separate from the background. And I've got one with the diffuser on here, which I'm just going to hold like this, and that's going to fill in some of those shadows in the foreground. My shot is looking good now, so I've focused well before the mushroom starts, and then I'm going to press my shutter to start my focus bracket, and I'll press it again once I've got enough shots. That's enough shots there, press the shutter again. And there we are. Quite happy with that shot. While I'm here, I thought I might as well photograph another mushroom. I found a slightly bigger one just to the left of the other mushroom. And this one, I think I'm going to have a similar sort of composition where it's on the left of the frame and then there's lots of negative space on the right. It's very hard to rest my lights on here because they keep slipping and stuff because I haven't got a tripod to put them on because I forgot to bring it out. So I'm just going to hold them while I take the photo and hopefully that works. So let's see how it goes. I'll press the shutter to start the bracket and then we'll hold them. That's enough shots. Hit the shutter again and there we are. It's a bit scuffed, but you know, you've got to work with what you've got. I just looked around in the leaf litter and found this broken leaf with these tiny mushrooms growing on it. So I think this would be great to shoot with a Rainox attached to the end of my Zuiko 90mm at 2x magnification. I'm going to shoot one slightly less magnified with a nice composition, and then I think I'm going to try and isolate just one of the mushrooms going all the way in at the maximum magnification. Got quite a nice composition here, showing all of the mushrooms standing up, and it contrasts nicely with that leaf behind it. So let's press the shutter to start the focus bracket. And we'll press it again in a moment once we've got enough shots. That's enough shots there, hit the shutter again. Now I've got to look at the leaf closely and see which mushroom will be good to photograph on its own. I found 2 mushrooms that are sort of arching over like that, and I think that would be good to shoot all the way 2x magnification with the Rainox on. Got my composition set up now. I'm going to be shooting this at f11, and I'm going to press the shutter to start my focus bracket. And I'll press it again in a moment once I've got enough shots. That looks like enough shots, so I hit the shutter again to end the bracket. There we are. Not the most photogenic mushrooms, but it's really cool to photograph mushrooms that tiny. I'm going to call today's video here. It was very hard to try and find a lot of subjects today because it's winter and a lot of mushrooms and stuff are usually underneath logs and that when it's winter. So I had to do a lot of foraging, but eventually I found some good subjects. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the photos I got today. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.